Hey everyone, Dmitry from DREAMophrenia here, and yeah, like I promised, here is our first talking video, so to speak. Well, some of you might be wondering, what am I doing here talking to you? Why is it not Heloise? Why is it me? Well, I have to have a confession. It's just Heloise is pretty much busy 24/7 working on the new videos, new animations such as new episodes, special episodes and whatnot. And I here simply have more time to interact with you people, so it kinda makes sense that I'm the host of this video. Well, if that's clear, I guess without further ado, let's go. And as you have probably already guessed, the topic of this video will be what's wrong with YouTube animations. To begin with, we've been on YouTube for quite a while already, about 3 years if I'm not mistaken. I have to probably double check it, or you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And we've been following, all this time we've been following a whole bunch of animation projects, a whole bunch of animation channels and some independent animators, those that do animation memes, YouTube series, maybe some original animations and whatnot, maybe some, you know, funny animation, like funny animated stories, horror animated stories, and a whole bunch of stuff, as you can actually tell. And my point is that I'm very well familiar with YouTube animations and what it is like to be an animator on YouTube, so I know what I'm talking about. One of the first things that actually struck us as interesting and curious was that neither me nor Heloise could find a lot of, you know, high quality content, animated content on YouTube, and that was actually one of the reasons why we decided to do DREAMophrenia, because we finally wanted to give people something new and fresh and big, and something that they haven't seen on YouTube before. But wait a second, what about all those animation channels that you've just said you're subscribed to? Aren't they, like, good enough for you or something? Well, yes and no. It's a complicated question, since animation memes are fun to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Even we ourselves have done some animation memes in the past. But if you actually compare animation memes to the content that other creators do, which is unique and original, and which uses, you know, their own music, their own plots, their own, well, pretty much everything, you will understand what I'm talking about. Original content is much more difficult to produce if you compare it to animation memes, storyboards, and, you know, like this kind of content, you know what I'm saying. However, because animation memes and storyboards and whatnot are much easier to produce, that's why people prefer to stick to this rather than actually invest your time, money, your energy, your effort into making something unique yet huge and big. Again, by no means am I trying to say that being an animation meme creator or a storyboard creator or a webcomic creator is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing per se. Like, it's if anything, it's good because, you know, creativity first, right? Being creative is good. So if you have an audience that digs your content, and if you yourself actually like what you're doing, then forget about what I'm saying. Just stick to your own thing. But again, bear in mind that we're still talking about facts. And the fact is that original content which uses voiceover, music, plot, and whatever other things that you can come up with, it's much more difficult to produce. And that's why you don't see a lot of, let's say, a lot of web series out there, web cartoons out there. You don't see a lot of stuff on YouTube, and if you do see something original, then chances are that there's a huge studio behind this project. And just because you see it on YouTube, just because you watch it on YouTube, does not necessarily mean that it's some kind of like independent amateur content. I can't even describe you how many people there are who come to our channel and they're asking us like, why is your voiceover so bad? why are your animations don't look that professional? Because look at this channel, they also run their own show, but their content there is so much more, has so much more quality compared to your content. Well, guess what? Because sometimes you're comparing us to actually, I mean, studio projects, right? These are not necessarily amateur animators. If anything, then you should be comparing us to all those animation meme creators. That would be fair, right? Well, maybe I'm not right. So again, share your own opinion in the comments. I'll be glad to read it, and Heloise will be glad to respond to your comments whenever she has time. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you shouldn't be comparing us to studio projects, even those projects that you still see on YouTube, but rather just compare us to actual, you know, and independent amateur creators, amateur animators. Another reason why people prefer to stick to the content that is easier to produce is because YouTube does not allow you to take time to create content. What I'm trying to say is that ideally you should be able to upload at least 2 times a week. Can you imagine? Can you imagine making at least 2 episodes of DREAMophrenia per week? Yeah, that would be cool and ideal. But let's face facts, this is impossible, because 1 episode of DREAMophrenia takes us sometimes up to several months. We have to come up with an interesting plot because we want to keep you people entertained. We have to record the voiceover, and we have to actually animate things, and sometimes this lasts up to 3 months. But like I said, ideally YouTube wants you to upload at least twice a week, and this is because if you fail to meet these requirements, YouTube will simply forget about you, and so will your audience. You will stop gaining new views, new subs, and yeah, like I said, YouTube will simply think your channel is dead, and there goes your YouTube career. So of course it's natural that more and more people prefer to stick to the content which is easier to produce, which is in turns animation memes, storyboards, webcomics, and whatnot. The third reason why YouTube animation is all about animation memes is, well, because you need actual money. You need to invest your actual money to support your original animation. Don't believe me? Well, here's an example. When we first started DREAMophrenia, nobody knew us. We uploaded our first video, which was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the opening to the show, and even at that time, the opening used, you know, pretty good animation. Again, I'm not, you know, trying to be like arrogant. I'm not trying to say good things about myself. I probably shouldn't be, but really, if you compare it to some of the animations that you see on YouTube, for a first animation video, it wasn't that bad, alright? Even, like, some people still think it's good, so it's not only coming from myself, it's coming from other people. However, after several months since we uploaded that video, we only gained like 500 views or something, and that was also coming from our friends and family and people who knew us. The fact is, nobody cared about our show. And you want to know why that happened? Well, because, let me ask you a question. How do you find new content? Well, one of the most popular ways to discover new content on YouTube is the, well, YouTube homepage, which is YouTube suggestions. YouTube itself suggests you new content based on what you've been watching all this time. Of course, when you're fresh on YouTube, you cannot expect YouTube to start advertising you right off the bat. But guess what? It's not the thing with animation memes. How many channels have you seen where there's like 1,000 subscribers, but some of the videos, especially animation memes videos, have more than 1 million views? How is that possible? Well, here goes the answer. They pretty much focus on something that is already popular. They borrow other people's characters, other people's music. They take something that is already being searched for on YouTube, and they make their own content out of it. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't be doing something like this, that these things shouldn't be allowed. I'm not saying this. All I'm saying is that it's easier for an animation meme creator to become popular rather for a person who actually invests in the original animation. So this is exactly the reason why you don't see a lot of original creators, so to speak. So the only way for you to promote your content is via shout-outs. Well, in case you don't know, in case you're not familiar with YouTube and how it works, shout-out is pretty much when like a different, more popular content creator mentions you in a way, and they ask people to go check your content out. And this is how you, this is pretty much the only effective way for you to promote as an original content creator. And just in case you thought it's easy to get a shout out from a popular YouTuber, well, you're wrong. Try getting one yourself. I mean, even reaching them out on Instagram, Twitter, or I don't know, like Facebook or Tumblr proves impossible sometimes because you know what? They simply restrict the circle of people who can contact them. Most of the popular YouTubers won't even have the DM option on Twitter because they don't want all these messages from their fans and from other people who are trying to get a shout out from them or something else. But even if you're lucky enough and their channel somehow magically still has the DM option, they will pretty much ignore you in most cases. And sometimes when they answer, they charge you up to $1,000 for one shout out. I mean, I understand them. They don't want to work for free because they've earned the right to charge you. But come on, I don't make any money off of YouTube, and the money that I make per month isn't even enough to pay for my internet. Where am I supposed to get all these money for like a shout out? So, as a creator who does the original content on YouTube, you're stuck. There aren't any options for you to promote your content. So all that's left for you is simply wait for your subscribers to give you enough likes and actually spread the word about your channel. Well, that's it. I mean, sad but true. So these are the main reasons why you don't see a lot of cool content on a daily basis on YouTube. So that's why we're pretty much stuck with animation memes. Again, I don't have any problems with animation memes. Do it if you like it. I still watch them once in a while, and I still do them once in a while. But still, as a creator, I wanna see more original stuff. And that's the point of this video. And if you really wanna help us grow, if you wanna help us make DREAMophrenia bigger, well, one thing that you can do is support us on Patreon, and that is sort of like the direct sponsorship. Even $1 per month will be cool enough for us to, you know, these are still good money to fall back on. If you're many, then we will finally be able to use these money to promote our content and finally get somewhere, you know, get our content from the bottom of YouTube to the surface, right? And if you don't have any money, well, it's still not a problem, because I mean, just you being here listening to my rants is still a cool support, I have to admit, right? And still, one thing that you can do is give this video a like, make sure to like drop a comment, or maybe two, I don't know, if you want. Share your own thoughts on the situation on YouTube these days and what we can do to improve it. And you can also share this video on your social networks, and also make sure to ring the bell or right next to the subscribe button, especially if you're subbed. If you're not subbed, make sure to sub and follow us on all social networks to stay tuned. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.